3 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. And the pitch. Curveball waved at. Wow, was he way out in front. 2 outs here in the 9th inning. And J.D. Davis will indeed pinch hit. You want to talk about being fooled.
That is a great pitch right there. Look, Dom Smith's, good hitter, but he is an aggressive swinger. Use that against him. Knebel with a beautiful pitch to get this second out of the inning, and now you got to watch J.D. Davis got popped the other way.
Outfielder straight away. They've taken a step back. Odubel taking a look at his scouting report before he puts it back in his back pocket. The first pitch to J.D. Davis. 1 ball, no strikes. Phillies led it 7-1 going into the top of the 9th inning. The Mets have scored 3.
You don't want to just 2-0 throw something down the middle to Davis and hope he gets himself out. But you really don't want to see Nimmo come up.
Line drive. That's a base hit going down the left field line. 1 run is going to be in. And Canna is held at third base. McNeil scores. It's 7-5. And now the tying run is at second base. And Nimmo's coming up. J.D. Davis with a pinch hit RBI double.
Yeah, 2-0. You just challenge, and JT wanted that ball away. That thing runs over the middle end, and J.D. Davis got to that baby quick.
Travis Jankowski.
I would think that if in a different situation, that Joey would have sent the runner on third, or runner that was on first base, Canna.
Yeah, I was surprised he didn't send him. All right, so now a meeting on the mounds. Runners at second and third. Nimmo is 0 for 4 tonight. He has struck out, lined out, grounded out twice. Phillies led it 7-0 going into the 6th.
Hey,
and 7-1 in the 9th.
Here's an issue. If Nimmo pulls a base hit, we got no chance of throwing Jankowski out at home. Look where Roman's playing. I mean, he's playing deep.
Yeah, Roman is back.
And he's got a great arm.
Three hits and 1 run in the first 8 innings. This 9th inning, they had 4 runs on 6 hits. And that's made the Phillies fans a little nervous here. A lot nervous now. Curveball out towards center field. That's going to drop for a hit. 1 is in. Jankowski's coming home, and the Mets have tied the game up at 7 here in the 9th inning. 9 men have come to the plate in this inning. First blown save for Corey Knebel. And now Starling Marte is going to be the hitter.
And look, it's a tie game. 2 outs, runner on first. The guy on first can run. The last thing you want is for Knebel to, be upset that he didn't record a save here and help this team get a win, is to not pay attention to Nimmo and have him steal second. Got to keep Nimmo close. Marte's last 2 bats, he hit a base hit and a bomb in the 6th.
And a high fly ball out toward left center field. Odubel on the run. He's not going to get it. It's off the base of the wall. Nimmo is scoring all the way from first, and the Mets have taken the lead. My, oh my. Starling Marte, in his last 3 at-bats, has homered, singled, and doubled. And the last 2 hits have come in this inning. Gut-wrenching. He thought he got it.
Yeah.
Thankfully he didn't.
I thought he did too, but 2 outs, Nimmo's speed running off contact, and good Lord.
Odubel's route was not great going after that ball either, John. I don't know if he would have gotten it if he had a clean route.
Yeah, I don't think he would. It looked like he was shading him toward right center.
Who homered earlier in this inning. And now Diaz will really get tuned up. He's been warming. Andrew Bellotti starts to loosen in the pen. Breaking ball. Carl threw this note out here, John. Over the last 25 seasons, the Mets are 0-330 when trailing by at least 6 runs entering the 9th inning. How about that?
Yeah, I'd like to say I'm happy to be a part of it, but I'd be lying to everyone.
Jeez. Tapper back to the mound. Knebel will take care of Lindor. But the unimaginable happens truly in this 9th inning for the Mets. They scored 7 runs to erase a 7-1 deficit and take a 1-run lead. By New York. The 1 in the 6th, you didn't really think about at that point. The 7 in the 9th, though, incredible. Phillies blew a 6-run lead entering the 9th inning. The last time they did it was May 10th, 1994, John. Jankowski stays in the ball game and is in left field. Dominic Smith is the new first baseman. James McCann is in behind the plate. And Edwin Diaz will take over on the mound. Corey Knebel. He tried to get the last couple outs after James Norwood only got 1 out. First pitch to Roman Quinn. This is Castellanos' spot. He was lifted earlier after getting hit by a pitch. Inside, 1 ball, 1 strike. He went around 1 and 2.
That's what makes Diaz so good. He has an overpowering high velocity fastball, and then he has that slider he can throw.
John, a couple of things about tonight. I mean, it's just stunning what happened. Stunning. There's no words, you know, are hard. It's hard to describe something like this. But Adonis Medina, 2 2/3 scoreless for the Mets out of the bullpen. Swing and a miss, 1 out. There he is, the former Phil prospect, pitched well out of the pen.
Yeah, there it is. That slider by Diaz. Roman swings through it.
Think about some of the numbers that we threw out there. I mean, what Carl said about the last 25 seasons, the Mets are 0-330 when trailing by at least 6 runs. JT, a swing and a miss, 0-1. In 1994, the last time the Phillies blew a 6-run lead or more in the 9th inning. 1-1. Now it's not over, but the task is difficult facing a guy whose ERA is 1.59.
Yeah, that means someone scored off of it.
It's true.
Might as well be us here.
Inside, and it's 2-1. Phillies wasted the outing last night that Zach Wheeler put together. And tonight it was Aaron Nola who put together a gem. Three and two. Off the hands. It hit off the top of the nozzle behind the mounds, and McNeil was able to make the play. And there are 2 outs. The Phillies are down to their final out in a game in which they had it in their grasps. Here's Reese. Reese is 0 for 3. Pretty amazing.
Yeah, it's
0 and 684.
yeah.
Popped up outside of first. Dominic Smith is over, and it's on play. Oh and 2. Hoskins ready, so is Diaz. 1 for 11 against Diaz is Reese in the 0-2. Swing and a miss. The ball game is over. As stunning a loss by the Philadelphia Phillies that we have seen in more than a decade. I mean, just stunning. Up 7-1, and they lose it 8-7. Baseball is an unforgiving sport. It really is. Our Chevrolet player of the game, we've had to do some editing this last inning. It's Starling Marte, a home run, a single, and a double. 2 RBIs, 2 runs scored. He had 2 hits in the 7-run 9th inning. The Mets were left for dead. And somehow they knocked the door open and won it by 1 to take game 1 of this 4-game series.
Fastball hunting for Lindor, and no doubter off the bat.
So Lindor breaks out in a big way with his 5th home run. Now has 17 runs driven in, and who knows, maybe the start of something big in the 9th. Caleb Cotham, the Phillies pitching coach, out to talk to Norwood, who was so good in New York, but here gives up an infield hit and a 2-run homer to the first 2 batters. .421 feet on the Lindor home run. So here's Pete, who's 1 for 3 tonight. And the Phillies are going to get some action going in the bullpen. Corey Knebel, their closer, gets up. See, that's one of those things, if you're a manager, you're always managing for tomorrow.
That's right.
If you're Joe Girardi, you've got a 6-run lead going to the 9th. You send out one of your not primary relievers. That's line just past the glove of Bowman down the left field line, and Alonso's got himself an extra base hit. So 3 straight hits for the Mets to start the 9th, and all of a sudden they've got something brewing. Second hit of the night for Alonso, his 5th double of the year.
Look, Bohm, who's all arms and legs, almost gets up high enough to make that play. He's a little off the line. That probably cost him that play. And plus the velocity off the bat of Pete, it beats him to the spot.
So I was just about to say, if you're Girardi and you have that 6-run lead, the last thing in the world you want is to have to get your closer up in the 9th, whether you have to bring him in or not.
Yeah,
because he wastes bullets out there.
Now he's got to get hot.
Yeah.
So,
but no choice now. With the Mets stringing together 3 straight hits to start the 9th, it's now a 7-3 game with Alonso in scoring position, and Escobar, the batter, will try and keep it going. Eduardo has struck out twice and flied out 0 for 3. They'll play him straight up on the infield, and he hits it sharply, but right to Segura for the first out. So Escobar first pitch swinging. It's another ball into play with authority, but right to Segura. So 1 away.
Well, for the manager, Gary, it's always the balance of putting your team in a position to win as many games as you can over a 162-game schedule and winning tonight.
So here's McNeil. Jeff had an opposite field single his last time up, 1 for 2 and a walk. Mets had just 3 hits in the first 8 innings. They have 3 hits in the 9th inning. And McNeil trying to bunt his way on. That's a good play.
Good play.
You just need base runners. But again, and we've seen this so many times, you've got the third baseman playing way back. All you got to do is square. And if you get the bunt down, you'll beat it out. You don't need to run up.
2 of the guys in baseball who do it the best, Anthony Rizzo, Brandon Belt. They are very big guys, they're very slow guys, but they turn around, face the pitcher, and just put a little on the ball to get it towards the third baseman.
Real Muto took the brunt of that last one, and Phil Cuzzy, the home plate umpire, giving him a moment to try and feel better. Marcano waiting on deck. And McNeil hits one through the hole. That's a base hit. Alonso will be held at third. McNeil with his 2nd hit of the night. And the Mets have 4 hits in the 9th inning. And now they need only 1 more base runner to get the tying run to bat. That makes it a save situation. And Joe Girardi will waste no time getting his closer, Corey Knebel, into the game.
Well, here's the grip.
Fastball, devastating curve, and that's the task for Marcano. Mets need 1 more base runner to get the tying run to bat. Dom Smith on deck. Mets were down 7-1 when the inning began. Lindor a 2-run homer. Alonso followed with a double. McNeil a 1-out single. And now Canna, who's 0 for 3 tonight. And Mark gets that first pitch curveball for a strike. Knebel's now 30 years old, University of Texas product. First came up with Detroit in 2014, but really made his bones with the Milwaukee Brewers. First time Canna has ever faced Knebel. Alonso at third, McNeil at first. And Canna hits one back to the pitcher. It banks off him. He recovers, makes the throw, not in time. Alonso is in. It's 7-4, and the Mets will get the tying run to bat in the ninth. A bank shot for Canna for an infield hit, the 5th hit of the inning. The Mets have scored 3 times, and now they've got a shot.
Well, this ball hit right on the nose, back through Cable. It hits him between the legs, hit his glove, but he slips here. That takes him out of the play because he couldn't get enough on the throw. Watch his foot. See, right there, it takes him out of the play because he was going to get to it in time.
The Mets have 5 hits on 13 pitches in this inning. Do they have a miracle in them? There's Dom Smith, who's 0 for 3 tonight. Flied out twice and struck out. McNeil at second, Canna at first. Dom the tying run at the plate. And he takes a fastball strike from Knebel. First time for Dom Smith ever facing Knebel. J.D. Davis has come out on deck to bat for Tomas Nido. Up and away, 1-1. Well, Ronnie referenced it. The 2-out rally against the Cardinals. Dom Smith getting the go-ahead run home by beating this play out at first base. Mets would go on to score 5 runs with 2 outs in the ninth in that game on the road. They'll need more than that today. Oh, that fastball looked inside, but Bill Cussy called it a strike, and it's 1-2. Knebel working for the second straight day. Gave up the infield hit to Canna. Now he's ahead 1-2 on Dom Smith.
That was good by Dominic. You know, he's got to be still seething from that last strike call by Cuzzy. Steps out, regroups, and forget.
McNeil at second, Canna at first with 1 out. 1-2 coming. And Dom takes the curveball in the dirt. Good stop by Realmuto. And it's 2-2.
Watch this ball as it bounces. It comes up and it hits underneath the face mask and catches Realmuto maybe in the chin or the throat.
Doesn't have that strap at the bottom of the mask.
He's got
to prevent that.
He's got the little extension,
yeah.
But that one was one of those rare ones that just got underneath.
Now it's 2-2 to Dom. And that's a little low.
Oh.
And now it's 3-2. Boy, that's a tough pitch to take.
Yeah.
Remember, in his last at bat, Dom took a fastball right down the middle from Familia for a 3rd strike. This one was close to being a strike, a fastball.
I mean, it's right there. It's a strike. Not caught particularly well. It's supposed to be up on the zone. And then our pitch cast confirms that.
Well, Dom's 1-1 in this at bat.
Oh.
3-2 now. J.D. Davis on deck to pinch hit, and again Dom slowing down Knebel by asking for time.
Dom got a little more magic here in the 9th inning.
Three-two coming from Knebel. And Dom swings over the curveball and goes down on strikes. 2 down. That was a dastardly curveball.
It is. It was a dangerous pitch for Knebel to throw because it's so big. Very rarely will it find the strike zone. But he fooled Dom, who was looking for a heater.
So now the Mets are down to their final out. J.D. Davis will pinch hit for Tomas Nido. Davis 0 for 2 in his career against Knebel. Started yesterday at DH, went 1 for 3 and a walk. Tying run at the plate in a 7-4 game. Mets have scored 3 times in the 9th. Knebel to Davis. And a fastball off the plate for ball one. If Davis can keep it going, Brandon Nimmo would be next.
You see that glove position of Real Muto. Every time he calls for a fastball, he wants it across the letters from Knebel.
Punching the buttons on the pitch com. There are only two buttons, fastball and curveball. And Davis gets the curve, and that one stays high, and now it's 2-0. Knebel 4 for 4 in save opportunities for the Phillies. When this ninth inning started, he probably had no inkling he would be in this game. It was 7-1. Now behind on Davis, 2-0. And JD rips one down the line. That's an extra base hit. McNeil will score. Canada third. He'll be held up there. It's an RBI double for J.D. Davis. It's 7-5, and the tying runs are in scoring position. Never say die. J.D. Davis with a big pinch hit double.
Well, he got behind in the count, had to come in with a fastball and ripped down the left field line. J.D. was all over this fastball from Knebel. And just like Alonso's hit, eluded the glove of Boehm. And of course, it's going to score easily as McNeil. I think Canna, if you weren't behind, you probably would send him here for sure.
But that run means nothing.
Means nothing. So he had to be very conservative, Joey Cora. He's done a fantastic job as a third base coach. And at the bench, some more magic here in the ninth inning for the Mets.
Travis Jankowski is going to run for J.D. Davis, carrying the tying run at second base, the best speed the Mets have. Mets have scored 4 times in the top of the ninth, and now a base hit from Nimmo could tie this game. What a ninth inning for the Mets. Very reminiscent of that game in St. Louis, but they've still got work to do down to their final out. Nimmo tonight has gone 0 for 4. And he's 0 for 4 in his career against Corey Knebel. Second and third and 2 out. And the first pitch curveball in for a strike, 0-1. Nimmo, the ninth man to bat in this top of the ninth. Starting Marte, who got the whole thing started with an infield hit, would be next.
Remember, Nimmo had a big hit here on a curveball from Nola earlier this season.
Canna at third, Jankowski the tying run at second. And Nimmo takes a fastball high, 1-1. 4 runs in the inning, all charged to James Norwood. 2 runners on base are Knebel's responsibility. The infield hit by Canna, the double by Davis. One and one to Nimmo. And Brandon gets the curve and lines it into center field. A base hit. In is Canna. Here's Jankowski. He scores, and the Mets have tied it. Brandon Nimmo with a 2-run single. The Mets have scored 6 times in the top of the ninth to tie this game at 7-7. What a rally.
5 unanswered in St. Louis, 6 unanswered here in Philadelphia. And again, it was a curveball. We were talking about the one he hit off Nola over the fence in the first series here in Philadelphia. This time he hits it off Knebel. One of the biggest hits that Brandon will have. The throw just not strong enough from Herrera.
6 ninth inning runs, the last 3 coming with 2 out. Jankowski into pinch run, sprints home and scores the tying run easily. And now the go-ahead run, Nimmo at first with Starling Marte, who started this inning with an infield hit and has already homered tonight at the plate. And Starling unloads one deep left center. Back to the warning track goes Herrera near the wall. It's off the base. Here's Nimmo around third. He'll come in to score, and the Mets take the lead. Unbelievable. Starling Marte with his 3rd consecutive hit drives in the go-ahead run with a double, and the Mets with 7 runs in the ninth lead it 8-7.
The best thing you can say if you're a manager of a club is that your team plays hard every night for 27 outs. And you're rewarded with comebacks like this. Off the bat, I thought this ball was out of here. But well placed that it hits off the wall. And of course, Nimmo, with his speed, is going to score pretty easily.
2 outs, he was flying. Corey Knebel's first blown save as a Philly. He's faced 5 batters, given up 4 hits. 8 hits in a 7-run 9th inning. This team. Edwin Diaz now on call, getting ready for an unlikely save opportunity. And now Lindor, who had a 2-1 homer earlier in this inning, takes a curveball way out of the strike zone, and Knebel looks rattled.
Who wouldn't be?
Phillies get further action going now in their bullpen, but Knebel has been racky-tacked. And Lindor takes a curveball for a strike, 1-1.
8 hits and 7 runs in this inning.
Starling Marte hit a home run in the 6th inning when the Mets were down 7-0. It looked meaningless. He got an infield hit to lead off this 9th. It looks meaningless. Now he's given the Mets the lead with that double. Lindor hits a comebacker. Knebel will make the play. Side retired, but an inning to remember for the New York Mets. A 7-run top of the 9th. Marte drives in the go-ahead run. And now Buck Showalter can go to Edwin Diaz to try and save an unlikely Mets win.
And his slider was just...
You never are short on smiles, but this one was particularly special coming over. What did we just...
Last night's game for the Phillies with a long drive to left center that just missed going out.
0-1 coming. And he lifts it down the right field line foul. Dom Smith going over near the barrier, but he runs out of room as he hits the screen. I was hoping, he said. You never know. And thus the Phillies are down to their final strike.
For Diaz here, you got to wait. Your right fielder had to come a long way. You want to give him a chance to catch his breath as he goes back out to his position.
Met fans who made the trip didn't have much to cheer about the first half of this game, but oh, has that changed. The 0-2. He struck him out, and the ball game is over. Edwin Diaz with a 1-2-3 9th, and the Mets with a phenomenal victory. 7 runs in the top of the 9th as they overcome the Phillies 8-7. The kind of win that you can live off for a month.
The kind of win that makes players feel like teenagers again. These are the kind of things, Gary, we said it before in St. Louis. They're building blocks for a team that knows now that they can never say die because they've come back from nowhere.
They had that incredible 5-run 9th in St. Louis with 2 out, and now they have trumped that with a 7-run 9th inning to come from 6 runs down. The biggest 9th inning comeback for the Mets in 25 years as they defeat the Phillies 8-7. Big hits galore from Lindor and Alonso and McNeil and Canna and Davis and Nimmo, and then Marte to win it as the Mets get a win for the ages.
And Diaz ends this game with his patented slider underneath the bat of Hoskins. And I'll say it again because I can't believe it. 7 runs on 8 hits, 29 pitches. Never seen anything like it.
Adonis Medina picks up the victory with 2 2/3 brilliant innings of relief as the Mets put together a 9th inning to remember. Let's go down to Steve Gelb. Steve?
Gary standing by with Brandon Nimmo, who had the big single to tie the game in that incredible 9th. You know, Brandon, you never are short on smiles, but this one was particularly special coming over. What did we just witness?
You can never give up on us. This team doesn't give up. It's hard to put into words what just happened. You just had one guy after another, just putting up good ABs and trying to just pass the baton along. Nobody was trying to do more than they could, and just get the next guy up. And that's been our mentality. And it took a while to break through, but it was pretty incredible fashion in the 9th inning. So 7 runs is something special we'll never forget.
At what point in that 9th inning are you starting to think, okay, we might have a chance here, and I might be up in a big spot?
Yeah, as soon as Francisco hit the home run, I saw Knebel getting up, and I was like, okay, that's great. Like, that's already a positive that we're getting him up and hopefully into the game. And then as soon as, we just started racking off the hits, and I thought, I'm coming up in a big situation here. So I just started to mentally prepare for it, and the rest was history. It's unbelievable to be a part of this team. They just grind. JD's at bat coming off the bench, unbelievable. So much poise by him, so much confidence. I'm so proud of all these guys, and it was very special to be a part of.
Said it's unbelievable to be a part of this team. What is the identity that you guys are developing, and just how important are nights like tonight, nights like the one in St. Louis, even the no-hitter, just these special, unique moments that are happening early on here?
Well, they didn't happen much, in the past that I've been here, and this is, 3 times that we've had, extraordinary special moments, and I think they just, they start to mark, special seasons, and so, you put these little things together, and they amount to, little throughout 162, but you put these little things together and they amount to big things in the end. And, us just not giving up and coming back here, each time we do this, it just gives this team more confidence, and, pointing to the identity that we're trying to, create here is just that passing the baton along and never give up and keep grinding. And you never know what can happen if, you just keep grinding and you keep putting up good at-bats and you keep throwing strikes and getting guys out. Our relief pitcher is keeping us in the game. That was huge right there because we only ended up winning by 1 run. So, everybody contributed here, and that's the identity of our team is next guy up. Doesn't matter if you're pitching or hitting.
They've got a phrase in this organization, simply amazing.
Yeah.
An amazing night. Brandon, thanks so much. Congratulations.
Thank you.
All right, guys, back to you.
I thought that was really well put. Big moments make big seasons, and the Mets have certainly had their share of moments early in this season. 2 enormous 9th inning comebacks on the road in St. Louis, and then again here tonight, a no-hitter along the way. And boy, I don't think I've ever seen anything quite like that 9th inning the Mets put together tonight.
I've never seen it happen as quickly as it happened tonight. We talked about the 29 pitches only in that 9th inning. I think more importantly, the Mets are trying to build this jigsaw puzzle of a championship season, and they really filled in a big piece today.
They turned this game around after we celebrated Gracie's birthday. I just like you to know that.
It's the Bassett House.
There's the game summary tonight. All I got to say is 7 runs on 8 hits in the 9th inning. Biggest comeback in the 9th inning for the Mets in 25 years since 1997 when Bernard Gilkey was the hero. This time it was Starling Marte who had the go-ahead hit in that 7-run 9th inning. Mets have beaten the Phillies 5 of 7 this year. They're now 19-9. What a win for this team. Mets win at 8-7. More coming up from Philly in just a moment.
That I've seen anything quite like that, and Ronnie and Gary were talking about it. Gary's seen a lot of baseball games, and he doesn't remember anything quite like that either. It happened so quickly, 29 pitches, 8 hits, 7 runs. But it was the contributions throughout the entire lineup, and every guy, like Brandon Nimmo said, the next guy, you pass the baton and somebody steps up, and if he doesn't do it, the next guy does it, and the next guy does it. And it's a feeling that you're starting to really believe that this club has. This isn't one isolated event. Now we've seen things like the improbable comeback in St. Louis, the 5-man no-hitter, and then an outing like this where it could have been mailed in towards the end of the game. So many different things that contributed to this win, including great relief pitching, including great added base hits off the bench with a guy like J.D. Davis, and then just the team continuing not to take anything for granted, knowing it's not over till it's over, and finding ways to be inspired. And even if they didn't come to a victory, they got a closer in the game. They were doing things to make sure that they were still having a competitive advantage against this Phillies team. Remarkable to watch. I think we all have smiles on our face here in the studio, and one we're not going to, we're not going to be able to surpass that for a while.
It was incredible, and as Brandon Nimmo, another quote from Brandon talking about the fact you do the little things and they amount to big things. The Mets were down 7-0 going to the 6th inning, and then they poured on there in that 9th inning. And again, we go back to the tremendous comeback in St. Louis on the 25th of April with 2 outs in the 9th inning, and then a night like this. What is it beginning to tell you, Todd, about this ball club?
Well, I think even besides some of the really improbable ones that are going to be really going to put a pin in those to remember forever, there's been this feeling that this team has that if you're close, they're going to win. Starting pitching has been phenomenal. Tonight, starting pitcher suffered with Taijuan Walker. He ended up still battling it out after giving up a bunch of runs to get to that bullpen, and then the bullpen was phenomenal. So it's little things that they've continued to do throughout the entirety of the season that makes you feel like this season is special. But these kind of things really make you take notice of this team, recognize that they're different. There is a feeling up and down the lineup. They're not relying on home runs. One guy leading to another guy, good at bats, using the opposite field, finding ways on base, good base running, good quality defense when needed. All the little things are adding up into something very big and very special. And we used to say, well, it's only April. Well, now it's May, so we can kind of start hedging that a little bit, but we're still starting to see some really great signs of a great team being presented on the field every night.
We are indeed. And again, it was the biggest 9th inning comeback the Mets have had since all the way back in 1997. So let's go through that 9th inning right there. And Starling Marte got it going with a single. And then up came Francisco Lindor, who was 0 for his last 18. Let's begin right there in what you saw from
Well,
Lindor.
I think Gary put it best. It went from being a slump buster, a slump breaker in some ways, a quality at bat, which, by the way, when you're 0 for 18 and you've already gone hitless so far in the evening, when you walk up right there, you're like, okay, I'm going to be aggressive, try to go with my approach as a fastball down in the zone. First pitch, and he put the good swing on it. The balls have been elevated against him lately, and he hadn't been quite able to get the barrel to it. That one he got the barrel to, that was a no-doubter. And I'm sure, no matter what, even in that moment, even though it's 2 runs towards a 6-run deficit, I'm sure that must have been something that gave Lindor a little bit of ability to take a deep breath and then pass it along. And he stood on the top rail there, cheering everybody on as that sort of energized this team to see this comeback come to fruition.
421 feet on that home run for Francisco Lindor. And then Pete Alonso got a big hit. Jeff McNeil got a big hit. So did Mark Hanna. And then J.D. Davis coming off the bench. He knocked in a couple of runs coming in cold. I mean, that was a huge hit by J.D.
Well, I don't think you can say enough about those guys. Dom Smith ends up striking out in that at bat, but we saw Dom Smith in the comeback against the Cardinals come in and get a great, a huge hit off the bench. Can't say enough about how well this bench has been able to perform. This is not easy to do. I can tell you from experience that it's not easy to be a guy that's ready to come in a clutch situation against a guy who's their closer. And that's especially what you don't necessarily recognize sometimes with bench players. It's not just coming in, getting at bats. They're usually coming in big moments, trying to keep a rally going or start a rally against the team's closer. And that is tough assignment. J.D. Davis takes ball 1 up in the zone, zones him down, gets a ball that he can handle, puts a great swing on it. So this team has those elements, whether it be Guillorme or Jankowski, who comes in and runs and is able to score on the base hit. All the guys that are coming off the bench are doing their jobs, they're accepting their roles, and they're making themselves contributors to the overall outcome of this team.
And then it was Brandon Nimmo who came up there, and Brandon was not having the best game. He was 0 for 4, hadn't gotten the ball out of the infield until that at-bat in the ninth inning, and that was a big at-bat right there for
It was a big
Nimmo.
at-bat, and the momentum had grown, and I think Nimmo, as he talked about, had been anticipating whether he was going to get up. As soon as he saw Corey Knebel getting up in the bullpen, he was starting to prepare himself for this at-bat. There's a first pitch hook, a very good one, by the way. Then he goes up in the zone. Nimmo stays back on the second hook, which Knebel's got a very good curveball. A lot of times he throws it for strike to ball. That one was out of the zone, into the zone. Nimmo, especially with his approach nowadays that's so short and quick, he doesn't commit too early. He uses the opposite field, and you know that he was going to just try to be short and quick to the baseball, not try to hit a home run, not try to do too much. He saw that hanger right there and just did what he should have done with it and hit a line drive at the middle. Saw a big smile on his face from first base, and he was still yet done. He had to run around the bases, made that easy on the Starling Marte double.
And then it was the game winner by Starling Marte, and as I mentioned at the outset of our broadcast here, he got that inning going with a single. But, man, we thought it was out of the ballpark, but he crushed what proved to be the game.
Big night for Marte. Marte's been a guy that's been productive. He's been driving in runs, finding ways to get his hits, but he hasn't had a real breakout moment yet, I don't think, as a Met. Tonight, he hits a home run earlier in the game. He gets the base hit to get the inning started, and then he comes back up, and on a first pitch, on a ball up in the zone, he's up to the task. He's ready to fire and drives that ball. Usually that ball's out of the ballpark. I think everybody in that ballpark thought it was gone. Ball not quite carrying yet early in the season. Still a little bit cool, but he knew it was enough to at least get another run home, and he's fired up. That's his biggest moment so far, I think, as a New York Met. And these guys all are gelled. They're, I'm sure, celebrating in the clubhouse right now. Another huge win. Very improbable, as you said. A complete team effort. And, wow, Taijuan Walker, not his best outing, spits the hook. But you can't say enough about the guys that came in to follow him. Chasen Shreve and Adonis Medina comes in and throws 2+ scoreless innings. This guy had been let go by the Phillies, comes back, and really in a situation that's easy to come in and not have your best stuff or not concentrate enough or have the opposing teams just pile on. He held them where they were, and all of those little things make the difference in this ballgame.
And then Edwin Diaz closing it out there in the bottom of the ninth, right? I mean, the confidence level in Edwin Diaz right now is about as high as it has ever been. So, what a comeback. What a night in Philadelphia. Todd and I just getting going here on PointsBet Postgame Live. When we come back, we are going to hear from the manager of the Mets, Buck Showalter. He made a couple of really good moves there in that ninth inning. He pinch ran Jankowski and brought in J.D. Davis. It all worked out. Mets win 8-7. Back in a moment.
Postgame Live is powered by PointsBet. Once the game starts, don't just bet. Live your bet life with PointsBet.